Welcome back everyone to the Advanced Serve Formula. This module is going to be about the second serve. This is a sneak peek for anyone who's in the basic formula and hasn't gotten to the advanced level yet. The second serve is probably the most difficult shot in all of tennis because it is the serve but with more pressure. So our main goal with the second serve is that it is consistent. The second goal is that it's at a quality that someone can't just smack it away. So the second serve should not be a different shot from our first serve. We're only going to tweak it slightly. So this is a big misconception that a lot of players have, is that they are always changing from first to second. Some people just do an abbreviated second serve. We want to keep everything the same because consistency is built through repetitions. All right. So we want to be able to be doing the same thing over and over again so that we are the most consistent that we can be. When we talk about adjustments for the second serve, the biggest thing that people think about is power. People want to lower the amount of power because they feel that it's less risky when they hit with less power on the second serve. I'm about to break your brain for a little bit and just tell you that sure, maybe the speed of the ball should be slowed down, but the power or the effort that you're going to be putting into your second serve will be just as much as your first serve. We just need to know how to direct that effort into a more consistent shot. Second serve, what will these changes look like? Well, they don't look like a total revamp of our serve. So if we're someone who's doing a full service action, okay, on our first serve, what we're definitely not going to do is we're not just going to do an abbreviated serve for the second one or do one of these, change to the forehand grip and just lollipop it over. We are past that, guys. We have the fundamentals down. Let's work in these repetitions to get a consistent second serve.
Editor Noah here. Just want to give a bit of context for this video. This video is a module from the Serve Formula, a tennis serve course you can watch for free in my community, Teach Talk Tennis. The course is over an hour long and people are already improving their serves in the community. So check out the top link of the description and let's get on with the video.
Instead, what we want to do is we want to make sure that the toss is nice and easy for ourselves. In the advanced formula, I cover the toss a little bit more, but essentially what we want to do is that we want to have the toss not as far in as we normally have it. We also don't want it as far right as usual. We want to bring it a little bit closer to us. This is just going to help us make sure that we're getting under the ball properly, and instead of slamming it down, where when you're inside the court, you're able to slam it more, you can get a bit more of a dunk. Instead, we're going to be a little bit closer to ourselves. It's just going to be a little bit safer. Now, this is for the people that don't have a kick or spin on their serve yet. And that is the ultimate upgrade for your second serve, is to be able to kick it. But for now, if you're not able to kick the ball, what we want to make sure that we're doing is that our toss is slightly closer to us. Not on top of our head. It's not behind us. It's still going to be inside the court, but it needs to be a little bit closer. What we're also not going to do, and this is a massive mistake on the second serve, is that when people get a little bit nervous and they want to try and hit a little bit softer, they tend to bend their arm as they extend. And so they begin to hit the ball way underneath or way too soft so that it goes into the net or flies out. Remember, we're using the same effort on the second serve as the first serve. We're just using it in different ways. I don't want to see anyone having their arm bent like this with a smaller toss trying to slow down the pace of the ball. That's slowing your whole technique down and it's compromising your technique. You're never going to be able to hit a second serve in that way effectively. So instead, what we want to do is we just want to think about where we're going to place the ball. The biggest opponent of the second serve is the net. So we'd rather hit it out than into the net. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we're reaching up nice and high. This is the biggest mistake. Like I just said, when you curl your arm in here, you get underneath the ball and you're not able to reach as high as you usually can. So on the second serve, we want to think about getting up just as high as that first serve. And then we're thinking to get it over the net. All right. We're trying to get it over the net. If it goes out, we can adjust that if that keeps happening. But the biggest enemy that I see of the second serve is into the net. So we want to be making sure that we are reaching up so that we get it over the net every single time. Now, when it comes to someone who isn't able to spin the serve just yet and instead needs to rely on a slower ball, we don't want to see an absolute slowdown of this arm here, okay? But we do need to reel it back just a tiny bit because it is otherwise going to go out. So a lot of people, what they'll do is when they get to here, they'll slow this down. And because it's slowed down, they'll start to stop their follow through, like about here in this mid-range. Instead, on the second serve, if you need to slow down your action to prevent it going out, what we need to do instead is we just need to swing right through, but just swing slower with our arm. We're not going to explode as much, and instead we are still going to do the proper swing, but it's just going to be slower. So I want to quickly show you the difference right now, okay? If this is our first serve here, now let's pretend that that one went out and I now have to hit a second serve. Instead of exploding with my arm, I'm instead just going to swing through and not accelerate. This is what it would look like. Just like that. I still completed the full motion, but I got the second serve in with good quality because I was able to complete the motion without restricting myself. This is what restricting yourself looks like. Right? I still swung through, okay? But because I was too small and I didn't reach up high enough, I got it straight into the net. And that's the biggest mistake I see with second serves. So if you're a player that struggles with the second serve, that's what we want to use. But if you're a player who can spin their serve, whether it be slice or kick, we want to be using the kick serve. Now, I've covered the kick serve in the kick serve module of the advanced formula, but the biggest issue that people have with the kick serve on the second serve is that they don't use enough force as the first serve. This is my first serve, all right? And I got it out. This time, if I want to kick my serve, I'm still going to be accelerating and hitting just as hard, except I'm just going to hit with kick. My hat fell off there, but you get the idea, all right? That serve, I still accelerated just as much as usual, but instead I was able to get the kick, all right, using our kick techniques, and it went in with a good quality and good consistency. So make sure you check out that kick serve module in the advanced serve formula if you need help with that. And that wraps up the module. See you in the next one.